Thank you, Deputy Currie.
Tánaiste, as Taoiseach, you visited Casnock Village to hear directly from our local businesses about the cost of doing business. Since then, some of our vacant units have been sold or leased, and we look forward to them all opening. But last Friday, yet another business operating for over 20 years closed. And as a community, we want our village stores, salons, cafes, restaurants to succeed and thrive. You're delivering on commitments you made that day, reducing VAT for hospitality and hairdressing, cutting the cumulative cost of business and regulations through the establishment of a cost of business advisory forum. What I'm asking you today is to give those local business owners a prominent voice in that process. Include a 3-week consultation period and invite them to have their say. Listen directly to local small businesses, and they will tell you where the real cost pressures are, especially the many publicly imposed charges and levies that they face. Not all independent, enterprising local businesses are represented by industry bodies, but they are just as important for jobs and for vibrancy.
Thanks, Deputy. Tánaiste.
Yeah, I think Deputy Currie makes a very important point. How do we make sure that we're hearing all of the voices that we need to hear when we're making policy decisions, and how do we be as inclusive as possible? I remember very well that visit to Castleknock, and I remember being in a relatively new coffee shop with you, a lovely cup of coffee, and I remember meeting, what's it called? Mellow, exactly, yeah. And I remember being in Mellow, and I remember meeting the young woman running Mellow, and indeed meeting her mother, who I think was, as is often the case in family businesses, everyone was pitching in. And I remember them talking to us very honestly about the costs of small business. And yes, we've made a number of decisions recently as a government, not all of which are popular, but a number of decisions to try and recognise that when we come up with a good idea in here, it's not us that actually has to pay for it. It is the small business as well, and we've got to get that balance right. We are going to set up a cost of business advisory forum. And this is going to look at all business taxes, costs, and ensure that businesses are properly consulted before new legislation or policies are introduced that will impact small business. And on foot of what you've raised today, I'll ask Minister Peter Burke and Minister Alan Dillon to give consideration, as I know they are, to the membership of that, and to make sure we get that balance right. Thank you.